Cheers everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to focus on the idea of entering into a new season, entering into a new chapter, entering into turning the page on this story that is our life, that is your life, and accepting the fact that things are possible for you. You know, in this book that I'm writing, and if you're interested in the book, click the link in the description. You'll be added to a list where you will get a discount as soon as it's out. The book is all about how to reclaim control over ourselves, really, our mindset, our thoughts, because our thoughts is what is creating our reality on an ongoing basis. It's never stops. It never turns off. There's no switch that we as human beings can turn off to say, okay, now I'm going to stop thinking thoughts, right? So either our thoughts are being channeled in a way that is leading us to down a good path, down a path that is productive, a path that is going to produce fulfillment for us, going to produce positivity for ourselves and in the lives of those that we care about, or we're going on a destructive path. There's really no such thing in between. In nature, you don't really see stagnation. When you see a lake or a pond and it begins to stagnate, there's no fresh water, no sunlight coming into the area, it begins to decay. It enters into the state of entropy, which is a state of decay, right? You are always either growing or shrinking. So it is up to us to consciously inform this story that we are telling ourselves, this ongoing story that never stops because our thoughts never stop. And we are the ones writing the story. We are the ones with the pen in our hands. We are the authors of this story that is our life, that is your life right now. You are the author. And it's not to say that every single circumstance that's ever happened in your life, there's certain things that everybody's realities is constantly co-creating, right? So it's not to say that there's never any circumstance or, obviously like certain things when you're growing up, there's certain things that affect it and play a role in it. But past a certain point, as we mature and as we become more autonomous, we are really the ones with the power. The more that we decide that, oh, it's this person and oh, it's this group of people and oh, it's the government or it's the school or it's the whatever group or idea of the day that we decide to blame, that's us essentially, by pointing the finger outside of ourselves, handing over our power away to make a change for ourselves, right? So it's very important. It's very important to take that pen back in our hands and be able to rewrite the story. So when it comes to entering into our winning season, when it comes to entering into this new chapter and turning the page, and as we're getting closer and closer to 2025, there's a lot of things going on. You've got these, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. They've got elections, they've natural disasters, all this stuff that's going on. We, as a people, collectively, can either choose to stew in this negativity and constant blaming and constant kind of hashing up. It's like on a collective level, a lot of people talk about manifesting on an individual level, but we are also manifesting on a collective level. And for us to, the collective begins at the individual level as well. But for us to usher in a new state of affairs in our own lives, but also the world at large, begins with ourselves. So one of the things that we can begin to do is to talk about, dwell on the possibilities, dwell on the possibility for growth, for change. If you've been stuck in a cycle, I know myself personally, a lot of the times, and if you're watching this right now, you may feel misunderstood. You may feel like a lot of people around you don't get it. They don't understand you, what you're going through, things that have happened in your past. And you may be looking around too, feeling like, why is it that this person is having success? Why is it that they're having it, but it hasn't happened for me? And what I can tell you is it all begins with the gentle shift. You don't have to immediately go, like a lot of these coaches and gurus tell you, to the end state of the wish fulfilled if that's causing resistance all the time. You can use a more gentle process to get you there. You can choose to believe that it's possible for you. If you're in a state of, you're feeling like you can't afford to pay your rent, or you're feeling like you can't afford the necessities and the things that will give you that baseline sense of security, or if you feel like you're not attracting the right people in your life, there's a lot of people around that you've attracted. It could be friends, it could be romantic, even people in your life that you may be related to. it is possible for you to find people that resonate with you more. It is possible for you to find people that are going to actually make you feel good about yourself instead of feeling bad about yourself all the time. There are people that have healthy relationships. As many toxic relationships as there are out there right now, there are still examples and countless examples of people that are living together and creating a life together that is fulfilling for both of them, and that are creating in this synergistic way where two people come together, let's say, for example, and are able to come up with a life and a lifestyle and create a kind of, Napoleon Hill talks about this, the mastermind, right? But a lot of the times when two people get together, they form a mastermind. They form this synergy where the end result is greater than the parts. Like the whole is greater than the two parts combined. Now you get together with somebody, and now whether it's in a business alliance, or it could be a romantic partnership, or it could be, different examples, you create something that you never would have been able to create before. I mean, one simple example of this is just, creating a home, creating a household, creating another example is like, you create this business, you find a business partner, you find somebody to work on this creative project with, you create you go into the studio and create this beautiful masterpiece that neither of the two of you would have been able to do if you'd been on your own, right? And it is possible. People are doing it. It's possible for you to find the right people. It's possible for you to find the right opportunities. It's possible for you to put yourself out there, and it might require a move. It might require a journaling. It might require being very intentional about this next phase, beginning right now, so that you actually have, this bumper right here from the next, we're towards the end of October. Now we got November, December to really, really start the year off strong for January. It could be, like I said, filling out, doing a journaling practice. It could be reading the 12-book year, but then actually implementing the concepts. It could be getting that project done that you been putting off and delaying, right? There's so many different things that you can do, but it's all about choice. In a moment-to-moment basis, we are faced with this choice that is, do we want to listen to the proverbial devil on the shoulder, or do we want to listen to the other voice? Do we want to listen to all the doom and gloom that gets perpetuated in the news and by people around us, and, kind of just negativity that all of this stuff, right? Whether it be the state of the world and the economy and all these bad people out here and all the evil in the world. Do we want to focus our attention on that, or do we want to focus on the fact that we can create a positive future for ourselves? We can find better people to be around, like I said before, and we can create a better source of income, a more fulfilling lifestyle for ourselves, where we're able to do what we want, where we're able to allocate our time, where we're able to work from home, maybe we're able to engage in a career that is actually makes us feel like we're giving back to the community, or makes us feel like we are contributing something or making a positive impact. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Sometimes you go through different seasons too, where that you might have to work extra hard. It's all about and that's a mindset shift too, right? Instead of thinking that work is hard, you can switch to work is easy, work is fun. I'm actually enjoying the process of going in right now and working on my ebook, for example, or I'm enjoying the process of creating videos, or I'm enjoying the process of could be working on my home renovation. I'm learning to do me personally, I've learned to do all kinds of stuff when it comes to home renovations. Installing drywall is pretty hard, but laying tile, laying flooring, obviously painting the house. Those things are things that are really not that big of a deal once you do them, but it's all about shifting and gently leaning into something that before, you might have thought, oh, this thing, you feel overwhelmed by reality. You feel overwhelmed by all the possibilities as well. But it's about having that intention. I choose to think of this thing as being easy. I choose to think of this thing as being an enjoyable process. And not that I am have to or forced to do this thing, but I get to do this thing. it could be that you are living at home with your parents right now. Rather than thinking about it like, oh, I have to live with my parents. Like I'm just, this person that can't sustain my own what's like my own income, or I can't sustain myself or whatever, and looking at it through this negative lens, you can think of like, oh wow, like I have this time right now and I'm in this chapter of my life where I actually get to enjoy spending time with my parents. I get to, my parents aren't going to be this age forever. Like soon enough, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I don't know what state of health they might be in. They might not be here anymore. And eventually all of us won't be here anymore. So it's about embracing the moment and really coming into this understanding that, look, there's cycles and seasons of life, and it all depends on your viewpoint. And you can shift your perspective at any given moment to see the beauty in things rather than the ugliness in a situation. There's almost always something that can be positive that can be taken away from a situation. There's a quote from Napoleon Hill, which I love, where he says that every challenge and every obstacle that we face carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And so the challenge that you're walking through, the challenge that you're facing right now in life, you might come to find out sooner or later that that's actually what made you stronger, and that's actually what made you into the person that you are now becoming, and the person that was able to build the business, be the good provider for your family, be the great role model for people around you in your life that you actually always wanted to be. These challenges and obstacles that we face, as much as we think that we're the only ones, we get into this mindset that it's like, oh, we got the blinders on and like, this is me and this is my story and blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, this type of attitude is what gets perpetuated in our culture right now. We're in this very, very strange time where people are giving out basically participation trophies for whoever wants to ride the victimhood train, whoever wants to get on board with the victim mentality. Now, like in our culture as it exists right now, I've never seen it. Me growing up before, like in the 90s, 2000s, I never saw this type of mentality. It's become so pervasive. And the irony is that it's actually destroying our ability to create what we want for ourselves, to create what we want in our lives, and to embrace the power that we have to make the changes that we want in our lives. It's not going to come from outside of us. The more that we embrace this type of victim thinking, the more that we say that we've been the victims and we've been oppressed. And even if there is some truth in that, it is not going to serve you. It is not going to serve you well to go down that road, because all that road leads to is more of the same. If you study manifestation, if you study mindset work, if you study psychology, you will find out, you should know this truth, this inherent truth, which is that we are always creating with our thoughts, we're always creating with our words and with our actions. And if we decide to commit to saying that, it's just the economy and it's just this and it's just that, then we, like the state of dating right now, and these are the reasons for all my problems, and I'm not going to actually take action and implement a strategy that will actually help me on my path towards my end result, which is where I'm going, and have the confidence and the clarity to declare all of this, then we're going to be at the effect. We're not going to be at the cause. The whole channel, the whole reason that I have this channel here is to help us become the best version of ourselves. And I want us to embrace, understanding certain things. There's certain psychological principles, getting away from the whole manifestation topic, that are they're self-perpetuating. There's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What we speak tends to be what becomes true. And the media knows this. There is a quote, in my most popular video, I brought up this quote by Victor Goebbels, which says, if a lie is told often enough, the people will believe it. And he was a propagandist back in the time of, Germany, and during that era that I don't even know if I should say, because I think it might get censored or whatever, but that's just another thing. That's another tangent. Where is the free speech? We should be able to express our views without people guiding us and telling us what to think. But we as on an individual level, the more that we're able to do that, the more that we're able to stand up for what we believe in and stand up for what we feel is right, the more that we can then impact and influence reality in that way. The more that we are scared to there's that tall poppy theory or whatever it is, where it's like nobody wants to stand out from the crowd. We need more brave people that are unafraid to speak their mind, unafraid to speak things into existence, because that is how we get things done. That is how the world evolves. That is how we are able to then manifest our realities and our desires. It does not start from waiting in the sidelines and hoping and waiting and praying for some outside force, whether it be for example, like the next president or whatever it might be, to come in and save the day like a hero in a cape. Those stories are inspiring, and we can allow certain people to inspire us. But at the end of the day, your life is not going to change until you take the bull by the horns, until you step into the driver's seat. Like I said, take back the pen, rewrite that story for yourself, and declare what it is that you are creating in your life. And, when you start to say this stuff to yourself in the mirror, get into the mirror right now, after you watch this video, and start telling yourself that it is possible for me. And ask yourself, what if I was becoming more and more autonomous? What if I was becoming more and more of a take charge type of person? What if I was becoming more and more of an action taker that thought that taking action is actually not that hard? It's actually not that hard to make a decision. It's a simple act of commitment. But the irony is the more that we think that making decisions is like that we can just put that off forever. But we're not elves, right? We don't live for thousands of years. We actually have pretty short lifespans. And the more that we ignore a decision that needs to be made, the more that we are actually committing to not making a decision, which is committing to that stagnation, which again leads us down the path of entropy. Because if we're not growing, we're shrinking. So make decisions today. Make a decision today that you are declaring that you are entering into your winning season. Make a decision today. Tell yourself in the mirror, look into your own eyes and tell yourself that you are a capable person and that you are going to change that situation, or that the situation is going to be changed one way or another, that you are stepping into your power, you are stepping into your authority, you are stepping into the director's seat of the movie of your life, and that you are bringing about, you are making these changes. You are declaring that you are this person. You are now becoming this person who embodies the characteristics, that is able to do work, that is able to do the things, that is able to see things from a perspective where you are able to then have more intuition, have more ability to better communication with people, be able to see where the problems are quicker, or be able to address things quicker, and be able to be more organized. Carry a list with you, chunk your day out so that you know what it is that I'm going to be doing in this day, so that you don't get lost in the sauce. We as human beings forget, even if we were to do this for a short period of time, we forget for whatever reason. We get caught up with the day-to-day humdrum, rigmarole, urgent things, and then we lack focus. We lack the ability to hone in again on the larger goal, the larger theme that we have decided that what it is that we want for our life. So it's important to take this time and get like I said, into the mirror and tell yourself what that is. Get out your notebook and write down what it is that you're creating, what direction you're going, what direction you are taking yourself in for the next 2 months here. What major goals are you going to accomplish? What major tasks are you going to get done? What is the trajectory that you want 2025 to begin to look like? Which direction are you going in? The recent video that I posted of ChatGPT putting out your dream life with all your visions, go and do that exercise. I think you'll be happily surprised to find out what ChatGPT gives you, what the results are from that exercise. And I think that you'll be well on your way to actually creating that by the simple action of doing it, intending for it, and allowing it, and doing it daily consistently, so that it begins to saturate your consciousness. So you're not at so much of a reaction to the 3D as you are informing the 3D. Anyways, guys, much love as always. Drop this video with a like, hit me with a comment, and if you're interested in the book that I have coming out down below, hit the link in the description. Like I said, you'll be added to the list. And it's basically going over everything that I've learned throughout studying this over a decade now, on how to do this, how to shift the narrative of your life. What is a mental diet? It's the same thing that when you're eating food, your body gets comprised, your cells are made up of the food that you consume. And so when you begin to start shifting your diet, then you begin to actually notice, oh wait, I actually feel better. I have more energy now. It's the same principle operating with a mental diet. You'll begin to notice how negative and toxic those thoughts are once you begin to shift this. So the book is going to help you do that. But with that being said, guys, much love. Like I said, hit this with a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.